For the second day in a row, I have a really good example for you of when an interviewer realizes their guest isn't answering the question and keeps asking the same question, and it makes the guest look really dumb when they don't answer the question. In this case, we're talking about Jared Kushner. Jared Kushner is Donald Trump's son-in-law, and Jared Kushner was asked here by Kay Burley from Sky News, why did Donald Trump have those documents at his house? Why did Donald Trump have those documents at his house? Why did Trump have the documents at his house? And much like yesterday's example, where former Democratic Senator Al Franken kept asking Alice Stewart, a Republican strategist, when was a Supreme Court nomination just not even acted on because it was the last year before an election? When? Jared Kushner doesn't answer the question. And so we're going to take a look at this. And of course, Jared Kushner just wants to talk about his book. And in doing so, he says a lot of things that don't make any sense, as is very common with these folks. Let's take a listen to this.
Peace shattered there, very tranquil pace for the family. Peace shattered by an FBI raid. Why did the president take home top secret documents?
You have to ask him that question. But you know what I will say is, if you look at my book, you'll see that he was under constant attack.
But he took top secret documents home, potentially risking the security of the United States.
Yeah, I think that it's something that, again, this seems like it's an issue of paperwork that should have been.
By the way, that's a new talking point that they've settled on. First, it was the documents were planted. Then it was I declassified them. Then it was I gave them back when they asked me, but I didn't. And there were empty folders. Now it's, listen, whatever it is that took place with the documents, it's a paperwork issue. And this is a way to not have to account for they already told the lie, so it's a little late. But the idea of it's a paperwork issue, understand the motivations of that. It's basically saying no matter what documents there were, no matter where they were, no matter who moved them, no matter what their classification status was, it's a minor issue. That's what it means to say it's a paperwork issue. And Kay Burley doesn't let Kushner get away with it.
To be worked out between DOJ and him. I don't know what he took or what he didn't take, but I think right now we're relying on leaks to the media, which is the same thing
We've seen the photograph, haven't we, where it says top secret?
Yeah, but that could have been fake too, guys. That could have been staged.
Yeah, like I said, I've seen a lot of allegations made by the media over my 4 years that turned out not to be true. So I think that this whole thing is actually elevated.
So the fact that we've seen photographs that say top secret document, we should wait and see whether or not they were, even though we're being told by the FBI that they were.
The look on Kushner's face right now basically says it all. So the pictures released by the FBI of top secret documents, with the FBI confirming that they're top secret documents, who's going to tell us, right? If they are not the authority on what the search warrant turned up, who's going to tell us?
Yeah, like I said, I go into my book, the accusations that were made of Trump.
If you could answer that question.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, he was the president of the United States. He had the highest clearance in the world. So I don't know if this may be a paperwork issue. This may be, I don't know. Like I said, I haven't been involved in the details of it.
He just has no idea at the end of the day. He has no clue. And again, he floats paperwork issue. And again, understand that every single one of these lines could really be analyzed and looked at a deeper level. Kushner there, when he mentioned, it's like they can't go 3 words without some kind of lie or distortion. When Kushner says he was the president, he had the highest level of clearance in the world. That's not relevant to the legality of taking boxes of documents to his house. And as we already know, because it's been explored in detail, the classification status of the documents was also not the issue when it comes to many of the criminal statutes which Donald Trump may have violated. So every little detail here, every detail is a distortion or a misunderstanding or a lie. And what I like about this strategy, Al Franken did it yesterday. Give me an example of when this was done to another Supreme Court justice. Well, listen, I mean, it's precedent. But if it's precedent, tell me, when was it done? And Alice Stewart couldn't do it. If you don't know the clip I'm referring to, it's on the YouTube channel. You can find it from yesterday. Same thing here. Why did he have the documents? Why did he have the documents? Are you saying they weren't actually what the picture shows they were? And they crumble. They crumble because they don't have a defense. Now, is it believable that Kushner simply hasn't talked to Trump about this, despite the fact that we know he's hung out with Trump a bunch of times since the search warrant was executed? It's really not believable, but he would have been better off focusing on that. From a PR perspective, if I were advising him, instead of saying, well, he has whatever access he wants because he was the president, or it's a paperwork issue, which minimizes the fact that we're talking about possible crimes, I would have just stuck to, I really can't speak to this. It's not about me. I can't speak to this. I don't know anything about. I would have just stuck with that and that alone. As many of you know, I'm a busy person. I don't always have the exact correct nutritional plan for my meals every single day. And that's why I also take a multivitamin and a couple of supplements. But doing them all separately can be a little bit time consuming, which is why Athletic Greens is just fantastic. And they're one of our sponsors. I've been using the Athletic Greens since last year. It just really simplifies nutrition. I just do a scoop of the AG1 and I'm getting 75 high quality vitamins and minerals and my probiotics, and it's all from whole food sources. I drink it in the morning. I know I'm good. I don't have to be messing around with different pills and supplements or whatever, or spend time planning what time of day do I need to take each one. I just get it all with one scoop. You can put it in a smoothie. You can drink it straight. It tastes great. And then I'm just good for the day. It supports gut health, and I'm getting everything that I need and I'm looking for. Athletic Greens is giving my audience a free 1-year supply of vitamin D plus 5 free travel packs when you go to athleticgreens.com/Pacman, and the link is down below.